Hello, welcome to the Healthy Alternatives podcast. I am Dr. Christine Sauer with DocChristine.com. Today's show is a recording of my radio show of the same name. Enjoy! Hi folks, it's Dr. Christine Sauer, host of the show Healthy Alternatives, and I'm today with Erin Madden. She is a Bachelor of Applied Science of Nutrition and Health or something like that. And she is an expert in meal planning, recipes, and all the good things about nutrition.
Hey everyone, thank you for having me.
Hey, I'm happy to have you. It's a real pleasure. And today we are excited. We want to talk about why people get fat and how to get rid of the fat for good and get healthy at the same time. So we're not about the latest fad diet like the grapefruit diet, the banana diet, the pancake diet, or one of the thousands of fads that just fill the magazines.
There's always new ones.
Yeah, how about the ice chip diet? That actually makes some sense. Now let's talk a little bit about why some people can't lose the weight or start eating after they went on a diet. And I recommend you listen to the previous video that we talk about diets, where we share our take on diets and healthy eating. And today we want to get specifically why we are having such an epidemic of obesity, which never in history happened. It happened about 30 years ago. It started that really the people were getting fatter and fatter, and the more the low-fat craze took hold and the people cut the fat, increased their carbs and sugars, the more they gained weight, the more type 2 diabetes increased with all its nasty complications like kidney failure, blindness, amputations. You don't want to have it. Neither do I.
Nope.
So that is an epidemic now, and the current nutrition advice is, I think, still eat mostly low fat and eat a lot of vegetables and eat a lot of fruit and full starchy whole wheat grains and 3 meals a day and 2 snacks, which is really not working. And that's why people get bigger and bigger, and the children get bigger. And sugar is so addictive.
It really is. I'm craving chocolate right now as we talk.
Yeah, there's a few 2-bite brownies in the back.
I know.
The temptation is everywhere.
It really is.
It is. And it's tough because you can't lose weight using your willpower. Your willpower lasts maybe a day or two.
Yeah.
If you're really strong willpower, maybe 10 days. And you lose weight in those 10 days. But you need to adopt a lifestyle and eating style that supports your willpower.
That's so important. You really want to adapt to a healthy lifestyle and still be able to have joy in your life. Like, there's Christmas and Thanksgiving. I'm not saying to eat like a salad on those days and like skip the gravy and potatoes. You can certainly enjoy all that. It's just about using those foods as moderation and still be able to eat healthy about 80% of the time.
And that's true. So I've been thinking a lot about why people gain weight and can't lose it again. And one of the factors, I identified 8 factors that in my mind have a very important place in weight gain and weight regain after loss. One, of course, is the mindset. And many people hate their body as it is. They are perfectionists. Everything has to be just right.
Yeah.
And many people feel fat, unlovable, ugly, and lazy. Now you might say, how can I love my body when I'm 100 pounds overweight? I hear you. I was there. I didn't feel good either. But it is so important to learn to love yourself. So hypnotherapy can help, and I'm just referring to our Body, Mind and Spirit Transformation course where that is part of it. And you can actually influence your own automatic negative thoughts by writing them down and writing against it. I call that become an internal anteater, what Dr. Daniel Amen calls it. It's a funny way of saying cognitive behavioral therapy. Change your thoughts, change your life. Because number 2 in my books is we are not clear about why we want to lose weight. Now, what do most people say why they lose weight?
They are able to identify the 3 W's.
Now, I think the people, they don't think about it to start with. They tell you, I want to lose weight to look better.
Yeah.
They tell us they want to lose weight to please their partner.
Mm.
Some say I want to lose weight to get healthy.
That's true, yeah.
But that doesn't go to the root really, because if you want to look good, we ask, why do you want to look good?
Yeah.
And who really are you and who do you want to become? And why are you here on the planet? We call it the 3 W's. And what do I want to do with the rest of my life, even if it's just a day you have the rest of the life? Use it. And that often leads to people saying, I never thought about it. And when you think about it, then people say, well, I really want to lose weight because right now, going up the steps, I'm huffing and puffing and my joints hurt. And I want to be able to play with my grandchildren, see them grow up, and maybe take my granddaughter across the stage when she gets married. That's a much better reason.
That is, absolutely.
And that goes really deep. And in our group session, sometimes we go deep. And sometimes we offer individual sessions for people that need a little bit extra support. And that's a specialty from our program. We offer a ton of support, don't we? And that is so helpful. And of course, your hormones can be an important reason you can't lose weight.
Exactly.
How do you know it's your hormones?
Some people can just not feel like they're hungry throughout the day, and we generally see this a lot in older people because they feel like they just don't, they're not hungry. Skin is dry and the hair can get brittle and thin, and also people can just feel very stressed and they can feel very anxious and depressed, and all that can be tied into hormone imbalances.
Absolutely. And we see often that people say, oh, I only eat like a bird, but they're really big. And then people laugh and say you're lying. Not necessarily.
No.
It can be that their basic metabolic rate is so low from constant low-calorie diet that they just don't lose weight even with minimal food.
And when you're not eating enough, you lose a lot of muscle tissue, so that's going to hold on to more fat and increase more fat cells and slow on the metabolism. I see this a lot in older clients.
Yes.
And they say the same thing. I don't eat anything. Why am I not losing the weight? And after analyzing their food journal, it's like, well, you're under 1,000 calories. You should be eating more than that.
Yes,
and
that you don't eat enough.
Yeah, and a lot of them are like, well, I don't feel hungry. I shouldn't have to eat if I'm not feeling hungry.
and really that is true, but the thing is, a low-calorie diet that you have every day and eat 3 low-calorie meals, it lowers your basic metabolic rate.
It does.
And I read in the literature and in the amazing good books of Dr. Jason Fung that when you fast, the opposite happens. Your basic metabolic rate goes up and you get more energy. Your memory gets clearer. Hey, that is absolutely cool. So I thought I'd check it out, and I read all the books about it, and there's a lot to it. It's the oldest kind of diet, is not eating when you're not hungry, eating when you're hungry, eating whole foods.
Yeah, and that's also important. I think a lot of people are just eating the wrong types of foods, even though that they're still like eating below 1,000. But if they're just filling up on junk food, they're not eating enough protein and healthy fats. So we talked a lot about that.
Older people often have low stomach acid, and that means they don't digest the proteins, they don't get the amino acid, they lose muscle mass.
Definitely.
No, of course our gut health is important. So some people, they feel bloated a lot, constipated, or have diarrhea and constipation. It's called IBS. You can fix that other than with medication. And it's not all in your head. People get acid reflux. Interestingly, most of the time they still have low acid. People have brain fog, very common. They can't think properly. Oh, I forgot what I wanted to say. What was it? And they get tired. And many people come to us and say, oh, I'm so tired of being tired all day. So what can you do about it?
For that, great things. You can basically heal your gut by eating gut healing foods. You can always get tested for food sensitivity. Biggest part is to eliminate white sugar and flour. There's no vitamins and minerals, no nutrients to eating any of those, so the best thing you can do is just to cut it out and to always eat more vegetables.
And good healing foods, for example, I love bone broth.
Yes, bone broth.
Make it in the slow cooker. It's easy to make and it's tasty. And it's really good for your gut because it contains glutamine and all kinds of nutrients and amino acids and minerals.
Collagen is also important.
Collagen, it's the same as gelatin. If you buy grass-fed gelatin, you pay half as if you buy hydrolyzed collagen powder. So buy the grass-fed gelatin. It's the same stuff.
Definitely.
Nowadays, many people have inflammation, and inflammation also keeps the weight up. And how do people know whether they are inflamed?
Basically, clients can feel tired all the time, poor memory and brain fog as well. You might experience like very regular headaches and maybe migraines. Even body aches and pains. That could indicate lots of inflammation, as well as allergies or skin issues like eczema.
Eczema, so common. And it's so important, and I always look at the blood work that the clients have taken. Hardly any doctor does an HSCRP, which is a simple blood test. It's the abbreviation for high sensitivity C-reactive protein, which is an inflammation marker. And in our width of the world, normal is between 0 and 8. But it should be below 1, or you have inflammation in your body that needs to be addressed. Of course, food sensitivity can cause inflammation, and I always recommend people get a thorough assessment before we know what really to do for the inflammation, what's the root cause.
Definitely, because there's a lot of fruit and vegetables would be a general protocol for inflammation, but some vegetables are actually more inflammatory than others, such as nightshades found in bell peppers and tomatoes. So it's actually important to actually understand what the inflammation is, so you can actually take steps towards improving your lifestyle and healthy eating. But like always, reducing your food, the processing of food can definitely make a big difference. Big difference in someone else's diet, as well as increasing your omega-3 fatty acids is also good.
Absolutely, that is very good. And it is also a fact that fasting, even intermittent fasting, is highly anti-inflammatory.
Definitely.
And if you suspect that you may have food sensitivities and want to save yourself the expense of a decent food sensitivity test, which goes about $400, the easiest way is to water only with Himalayan salt fast for about 4, 5, even 7 days under supervision of a trained professional. And suddenly the inflammation is out of the body. There's no more food sensitivities. And if you feel 100% better, then afterwards you can start slowly reintroducing. So that's a process that is fascinating. Now there's another reason why people hold on to their fat, and that is the toxic overload. How do we get a toxic overload?
Main thing is when people are eating regular or packaged foods that is heavily processed. So if you eat a lot of fast food and takeout, there's most likely going to be processed food in that meal. Smokers especially can get toxic overload.
And that applies to marijuana smokers too. Weed smoking is not healthy, even if you think it is. It isn't.
Definitely. And if you're also exposed to paint thinners and fumes, maybe you have a job that has a lot of toxin smells, people can get exposed to that sort of environment.
And those are fat-soluble toxins.
Definitely.
They get enriched in your fat.
Definitely. And skincare, that's a big thing.
People don't think about it. Cosmetics.
Yeah, definitely. So if you're wearing the wrong type of cosmetics, foundations, that's going to produce a lot of toxins. And also touching your face can also create some toxins too.
Not really toxins. No? It's more an infection that you can get from your hand. But interestingly, I read a study that 70% by the EWG, that 70% of lipsticks still contain lead. And who doesn't use lipstick?
Yeah.
So you should go to the website ewg.org and check your lipstick and buy one without lead.
Yeah.
And the Environmental Watch group, that's EWJ working group, they're really good.
It's also important not to eat too much fish throughout the week because there's always toxins in fish.
Especially large fish like salmon and tuna.
Yeah, so it's recommended to eat no more than 2 to 3 servings per week. So if you're heavy on the fish, you always want to reduce that and make sure that you're drinking purified water as well.
That is so true. And my take on fish is eat small, fatty, cold water fish, sardines, anchovy, mackerel, herring. Those are relatively low in toxins, but the whole ocean is toxic nowadays. And of course, organic or better biodynamic food, less processed, the same thing. And avoid those room sprays. They don't freshen the air. They
give me headaches.
Me too. They're toxic. Avoid them. They're actually deadly for certain birds and other pets.
Yeah.
Don't use room spray.
What's your take on essential oils?
Essential oils can be okay, but you have to check if your pet might react to it or might die from it. Some birds can't handle some essential oils.
I made the mistake of not checking, and we had an ant problem last year, and I put peppermint oil on the floor and I found out that cats, we have cats, you can't give peppermint oil to a cat, so I pretty much had to disinfect the whole area. So I learned from my mistakes.
Oh yeah, it happens. And for ants I recommend actually diatomaceous earth. It's harmless and it works. Same for slugs, those nasty little ones.
Good to know.
And often people that are overweight suffer from nutrient deficiencies. Interestingly, they come and say, when I tell them you may have a nutrient deficiency, they say, how can I be nutrient deficient? I have too much, I'm fat. But it's just not true.
And a lot of the times people can get nutrient deficiencies is they are always craving sugar. So if you're eating a lot of processed and low nutrient foods, you're not actually getting enough vitamins and minerals. So that's
your donuts, your muffins,
so you're
your
constantly
toast.
craving. Some people crave sugar when they're nutrient deficiency, or they crave salt. Or whatever the craving is, there might be an underlying cause to why you're craving so much of that. And then also, if you're eating too much out of season, that can also create an imbalance in your diet.
And the reason for that is, interestingly, when you eat fresh produce out of season, it usually has been on the shelf for weeks on end. And it still looks good because it's all bred to be good. But if you ever tasted strawberries from some foreign country in the middle of the winter, they usually look great. And then you bite in them, no taste.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
Definitely. And then the last thing that can cause a nutrient deficiency is if you're taking any medications, so pharmaceuticals. Usually when you get a drug, you're always getting a long list of things that could happen.
And you don't read it because they say the doctor should know.
Yes, definitely. So
but the worst one really is long-term use of stomach pills because we need the stomach acid so bad.
Yeah.
And there are other ways to help with gastric reflux with acid reflux. So it's very important, if you take stomach pills, don't take them longer than 6 weeks. If you have to take them longer than 6 weeks, there's something else at the root of it.
Definitely.
Another common offender is the anti-baby pill. Anti-baby? Birth control pill, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, anti-baby is in Germany. That's what we see in Germany, anti-baby pill. Birth control pills are notorious for preventing certain nutrients to be absorbed. And B vitamins are essential for our brain health, and they are often not resorbed properly.
They are, birth control pills are notorious for depleting our good flora, our healthy probiotics. So a lot of people who are on birth control tend to feel very bloated, and they actually crave sugar.
A good book by Isabella Venzi. She's a pharmacist. Drug muggers. I like that. So what can you do about it?
Basically, you want to eat local and organic as much as you can. Eat in season if you have the ability to do so, and take a nutritional supplement as needed. So I would highly recommend that you talk to Dr. Christine about that, because she's more knowledge. I wouldn't recommend that you just read in a magazine ad about this top supplement that's supposed to cure everything.
Oh yes, and so, you pay for the TV advertising. And what I love to call it is the nutrient orchestra.
Absolutely, that's
because
a good
we
name.
need a combination of the food and the supplement to make a full nutritional plan.
And there's so many horrible quality supplements out on the market. And so if you just pick up a generic brand, a lot of the times it's just going to be poorly absorbed in the body. And Christine knows a lot about the supplements out on the market, so she can give you some really good ones.
Pretty good idea, and I make supplement plans, customized supplement plans. And it works well with your meal plans.
Absolutely.
Because you have a meal plan, and then sometimes, you can't afford organic food, you can't afford grass-fed beef. It's so expensive, and you don't need to.
Yeah, and always remember that if you're low in B vitamins, or if you're iron anemic, and you have to take a supplement for that, it's always good to increase the food sources as well to make it work better. You never want to just rely solely on supplements. Supplements means what they say they do. They're supposed to supplement your food, and you always want to make sure you're getting enough food sources as well.
Yeah. The sad thing about food sources, on the other hand, is that in the last 50 years, the nutrient content of food has decreased by as much as 80%.
Yeah.
So we have to eat way more vegetables to get the same benefits that somebody got from maybe a fifth of the portion years ago, and that's terrible, but we can't change it, sadly. So that's why most people will benefit from supplements at least some of the time.
Yeah.
And emotional eating, of course, is an important part. I'm an emotional eater. When I'm stressed out, when I'm not feeling good, I want chocolate. And I want milk chocolate, the one with the sugar. And I have a nice image. There's a study that rats were fed heroin or sugar or cocaine on one side, sugar on the other side. Guess what they choose? They choose the sugar. On my picture, it's a hamster because they look prettier. But it is very true. Many of us eat for other reasons than physical hunger. What do we eat? Why do we eat?
Basically, emotional reasons. You're eating for physical hunger. Because you eat, you eat because it's time. And like snacking all day long. If you're snacking on junk food, you're just going to want to keep craving more of it throughout the day.
Many have heard, well, you should snack to keep your blood sugar stable. But it's the opposite. Because if you eat a lot of sweet foods, and I've experienced it myself, an hour or two later, your sugar goes so low that you get shaky, you get a little weak and tired, and then you start sweating profusely. You think you're in menopause, even if you're not, and then you get hungry because you need to eat to get your sugar back up. So your sugar goes on a roller coaster.
Absolutely. And because that you are snacking, a lot of it is sweet or salty snack foods, and that's going to you're going to want more of it throughout the day. And if you're not portioning out your foods, a lot of people can just kind of have a big bag of chips right in front of them and just start eating them when they're on the TV. And the next thing you know, that bag is all gone and they took in over 1,000 calories.
It's so easy to do. I did it too.
It
is so easy. But actually, in our BMST, our Body, Mind and Spirit Transformation, we have a cravings questionnaire, and I made it from Julia Ross's book, The Craving Cure. And we can recommend certain amino acids that are for your cravings type, because there's 5 different ones that Julia Ross distinguished, and it actually works. You can beat your cravings by eating a certain amino acid, and over time you can adopt a better lifestyle and eliminate the cravings for good. So what can you do about all your emotional eating habits?
Basically, just give yourself time, be very patient with yourself, don't put yourself down if you did cave into a craving.
We all do that. Shit, I ate that chocolate bar, I shouldn't have done it. Now that makes you feel guilty, and when you feel guilty, what do you want? More chocolate.
Yeah, absolutely. So another thing that you want to do is just don't beat yourself up over every slip of your craving. Simply enjoy occasional treats. Like if you do have a chocolate bar in front of you, don't beat yourself up if you do actually enjoy that occasional treat, and make a list of non-food things that you do actually enjoy as well. So
that's good. What would that be? For me, it's Tai Chi. It's non-food that I enjoy, or playing with my pet, petting my dog.
Yeah, going shopping and finding a new wardrobe, or maybe getting a new haircut, or getting a pedicure. So things that make you feel good.
Or even absolutely free stuff. Go out to the library and listen to some interesting stuff.
And that's what I love to do. I don't use food as a way to combat stress. I love listening to music.
Yes, dance your life out.
Definitely.
That's a good one. I like the music.
Yeah, I love music. I loved going for walks, and I love just kind of being in a quiet place and just reading. That's my way on how to de-stress. A
real book. My God, they still exist.
They still do. I'm telling you, it's amazing.
It's better for your eyes, especially before sleep, because the blue light from all electronic devices will keep you up.
Well, I have to admit that I don't use an actual book.
You use a electronic reader, but they don't emit very much blue light.
That's
and
true,
I have one here. I use them too.
But that's
they're
my
very
ways
convenient
on how to
because they're not so heavy.
Definitely.
I like that idea. With
I don't like flipping pages, and like some of the books are like just so heavy, and
that's true.
Yeah. So
that's true.
I have to stay current with the technology.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But we don't have to be totally dependent on it. That's important too.
No, that's true.
And yes, if you actually say go to a wedding and you want to eat a piece of wedding cake, enjoy it. Eat mindfully. Be in the moment. When you eat the wedding cake, don't watch TV or talk to people. Enjoy the bite. Enjoy your mouth feel, that soft, squishy cake and the sweetness. Enjoy it. And then say to yourself afterwards, was it really as good as I thought it was? Most of the time it isn't. Because when I ask myself after I have a chocolate bar, like stress eating, I ask myself, how did that taste now? And I say to myself, like nothing. I should have had a salad with some cheese. It's good too.
Definitely.
So that brings us pretty much to the end of today. If you want to check out our Body, Mind and Spirit Transformation, please do so. The link is below. And it is a great program. It works. It's proven. It's online. It's convenient. And the best thing is the results. So on the website that we direct you to, you can see some testimonials of successful participants that enjoyed being in the program, enjoyed all the support you get. That's unparalleled. There's no other program that helps people that already have health issues or food allergies actually lose weight and get healthy like we do. So thanks for being on the show, Erin. I'm excited to start a new iteration next week.
Absolutely. I always love being on your show, Christine, and hopefully we are going to get some new enrollment because it's always exciting when someone is just starting their journey, and it's nice to help them through it all.
Help them through it all and see them succeed, and then see them happy and healthy and say, hey, you had a little part in this. We are not doing it. You are doing it.
Absolutely.
It's your body. It's your work. You're the expert for your body. I always say that.
Yes, definitely. We're just giving you the guidelines.
We're giving you some guidelines, and you do all the work. Sorry to say that, but it's a case.
It really is.
We give you shortcuts, but
we don't hold you down and feed you.
No, we don't force you to eat healthy, but we make it easy.
Yeah.
And fun. We always have fun in the meetings, don't we?
We do, absolutely. There's always amazing questions coming up, and we love talking about weight loss and
healthy eating and how to get healthy in all dimensions.
Definitely. Weight loss is just not a linear process, so there's so many
and it's not really just weight loss. It is starting a healthy lifestyle for the rest of your life. So you age healthily, you age the best you can, and hopefully one day you'll fall asleep at night and don't wake up. That's the way I want to go.
Definitely.
And then I want to have been able to say, I did what I could to stay healthy, so I could do what I really wanted to do in life, which is, for me, helping others.
Definitely.
Okay, talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.